Hey everyone, I'm back with another video, and I just want to remind you that this is not investment advice. You need to do your own due diligence and make your own decisions. I'm just telling you my thoughts. So let's get to the charts. AMC, and I'm going to try and be a little bit quicker in these videos now. I feel like it take a little bit too much time sometimes. AMC, I mentioned that this could still be a cup and handle. It held the 8-day moving average, the green line today. It closed above the red line, the 4-day moving average. So it is showing some strength. We got a pickup in volume today, which shows increasing interest again, that people are still following this stock. Now, the upper wick of profit taking today wasn't as big as the other days. So the bulls are showing more strength today. The question is, can the bulls break the high of today? And if they can, then it will probably head up to the upper Bollinger Band and pass the all-time highs. If we pass today's high, there's a very good chance we can test that all-time high tomorrow on AMC. So that's what we'd be looking for. Increasing volume, that's a good sign for the bulls. Increasing volume is good. You just don't want to see these huge volume spikes. These huge volume spikes tend to signal temporary tops or temporary bottoms. But when the volume's increasing, but there's no huge spikes, that's a good sign. Let's take a look at BlackBerry. As I mentioned yesterday, and go back to my video yesterday, it happened exactly as I said. It was either going to double bottom off of today, which it did, or open lower, but then still run up to the red line. And look at it. It opened low and it ran exactly to the red line. I mentioned that in my video yesterday. It's exactly what happened. It held this clear support area over here. So BlackBerry bulls still showing a lot of promise. Looking very weak. And, you know, when you go back and you look at all the articles, and some articles came out, let's just take a look over here. BlackBerry stock just got stopped. Another Reddit stock pump on the way. Well, that's a good article. Stock sell-off is here. Don't rush to buy the dip. That's what they just released today. And there was a bunch of bad news the other days. BlackBerry investors urged to oppose Watsa on executive pay because John Chen, the CEO, because the share price is rising, he's entitled to some stock options and stock grants and stuff like that. So this is seen as bad news because it's further dilution for the stock, and investors are urged to oppose this deal for John Chen. I think bad news is good news, and there was a bunch of bad news on AMC, like the CEO and all the insiders selling all their shares and them doing more dilution. And guess what? The stock just went up even higher. So I'm going to look at this bad news as potentially good news, as potentially them trying to get you out of your trade and make you sell your BlackBerry stock. And that's what this all was, because it kept bouncing off this area. It was a clear break yesterday, sold off, trapped bears, triggered a lot of stop losses, and guess what? Today it ran right back above that support area. And now after hours, it's running even more. So BlackBerry is looking pretty good. Keep an eye on it. What you want to see is tomorrow, of course, a break of today's high, a break of the post-market high, which is $13.98, and a clear break of $14. You want to see it pass this 8-day moving average. And if we can pass a few of these days over here, we got a long freeway, lack of clear resistance all the way up to this upper Bollinger Band, which is around $18 US. And then BlackBerry bulls will set their sights for the recent high of $20.17 on the US side. And like I said in my other videos, if the bulls are able to pass this area over here, then it should probably be no problem that the bulls are going to be able to pass the high from January, which is over $28 US. This looks like a potentially big cup and handle. So still got my sights on BlackBerry. I did buy a little bit today. So I'm back in the trade for now. We shall see how it goes. So far, so good. So keeping our eyes on BlackBerry. They want you to forget about it. They're making the stock drop. Everybody's losing faith, losing hope. This stock's dead. This stock's done. Screw this stock. Everybody's getting out. That's what they want. Now everybody's getting out. Everybody panic sold. Everybody's stop loss got triggered. And now, bang. That's when they flip it. GME. Not much going on here. This consolidation pattern over here looks a bit like a bear flag. I wouldn't be surprised if something similar happens with GME as BlackBerry, where it kept bouncing off that area and then it breaks. So it kept bouncing off this area and then it breaks. Maybe a volume spike, trap a lot of bears, and then flip the other way. So let's keep an eye on that with GME. I don't think it's ready to make a move yet. I think maybe look for that break and then look to maybe enter at the 50-day moving average, which is around $190 for a potential trade on GME. I didn't look at too many of the top trending stocks today. I was kind of off today, so didn't look at too much of what's going on today, but I'll check out a few other stocks. Coinbase still holding this gap up as a support. A fill of this gap would be a negative sign. If it holds that gap and doesn't fill that gap, I would see that as a positive sign and see that as a sign that it might run further. Although looking at crypto, and most cryptos look really bearish, so playing crypto stocks might be a little bit risky. Riot up here. Lots of upper wicks of profit taking on Riot over here. That big volume spike the other day, trapping some people in the red. Not too sure about crypto stocks. Another big one I mentioned the other day, Shopify. Check it on the TSX. It filled that gap. Now it's quite a bit overextended now. It was overextended yesterday. Now it's really overextended. The RSI is getting quite high. And, this looks like a short squeeze. I know there's a lot of shorts on this stock. This looks like Shopify squeezing. And we're getting increasing bull volume, but no huge spikes yet. I don't know if it's the top yet. Now, if we gap up, you can top fish around this all-time high for potential pullback. Because if we gap up, we're going to be really far from the red line, the 4-day moving average. So if it gaps up, could possibly sell off and drop to that 4-day moving average and double top, at least temporarily, around the all-time highs. So you can top fish as a bear or take profits as a bull on that move. Taking a look at Apple, showing strength. Seen the breakout the other day. Now there was the indecision candlestick yesterday, and that's probably because of the FOMC meeting. Otherwise, it might not have been an indecision candlestick. But it trapped a lot of bears because there was pretty high volume at the lows, and then it broke out today, showing strength overall. A little bit of an upper wick of profit taking, but nothing too concerning on Apple at the moment. And if this can gain steam, and if the NASDAQ breaks this resistance area and holds it as a support, then Apple could very well run to this upper resistance trend line, and that's around $155 or so would be my target if the NASDAQ and QQQ holds up. Amazon as well, similar to Shopify. Looks like a lot of these e-commerce giants, they're getting a big move, big volume. Amazon again, potential same trade setup as Shopify. These two are correlated with each other, so look for a correlation between the two. If you're trading Shopify, you want to be looking at Amazon. If you're trading Amazon, you want to be looking at Shopify and see how each other is reacting. I wouldn't be surprised if the bears try to make an attempt tomorrow on a potential gap up. Doesn't mean it's going to top out, but short term, you may see a little bit of a pullback if we get a gap up. If we get a gap down around the red line, then it might push even further and past that all-time high. But if we get a gap up, I wouldn't be surprised we get a pullback and a red candlestick tomorrow. So mainly that's what I'm looking at. If you want me to analyze more stocks, I have it in my Instagram. Check out my Instagram at 10baggerstocks, and I will analyze your stock. Okay. It's a $20 fee. You pay the fee. You tell me the stock you want me to analyze, and I will analyze your stock on my next YouTube video. And yeah, so if there's any stocks you want me to analyze, just type it in there. $20. I'll analyze it for you. Hopefully help you out with the analysis, and then potentially save you or make you a lot more than the $20 fee that you're paying for me to analyze it. So check that out as well. Again, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end this video. More coming soon.